Brilliance Audio presents Winners by Danielle Steele. Performed by Dan John Miller. Lily Thomas lay in bed when the alarm went off on a snowy January morning in Squaw Valley. She opened her eyes for just an instant and saw the thick snow swirling beyond the windows of the house her father had rented, and for a fraction of an instant, she wanted to roll over and go back to sleep. She could hear the dynamite blasts in the distance to prevent avalanches, and just from a glance, she knew what kind of day it was. You could hardly see past the windows in the heavy blizzard, and she knew that if the mountain was open, it wouldn't be for long. But she loved the challenge of skiing in heavy snow. It would be a good workout, and she didn't want to miss a single day with one of her favorite instructors, Jason Yee. She and her father came here every year during Christmas break. They celebrated Christmas at home in Denver, flew to San Francisco, where her father visited friends and did some business, mostly with venture capital firms in Silicon Valley, and then they drove to Squaw. It was a tradition Lily loved, and good skiing. They'd been coming here since she had started downhill racing when she was a little kid. She had won bronze in the Junior Olympics 3 years before, at 14, and she was training for the next Winter Olympics in a year. This time she was hoping to win the gold. Lily gave a last stretch in her warm, comfortable bed and got up to take a shower. She glanced out the window and saw how heavy the snowfall was. There were 2 more feet of fresh snow on the ground than there had been the night before. She grinned, thinking of the morning that lay ahead. The heavy snow might slow them down a little, but Jason always pushed her hard, which was what she liked about him. She loved skiing with him, and he was more fun than her regular Denver coach, who had been training her for the Olympics since she was 12. It had been her father's idea for her to start skiing, and then racing, when he saw what a natural she was. He had loved to ski at her age. He had been mostly self-taught, and had a passion for it, and had skied on whatever skis he could afford. After his simple beginnings in a mining town in Pennsylvania, he had made his fortune in his early 20s, speculating on the commodities market, and later investing in high-risk deals that brought enormous returns. Since then, he had been investing more conservatively, and his fortune was secure and would go to Lily one day. She never thought about it, although she knew how fortunate she was. Her father always preached discipline and hard work, and Lily was a lot like him. She was an outstanding student and a talented athlete. She was a junior in high school and hoped to go to an Ivy League college. And in the meantime, she trained for the Olympics every day at a grueling pace. She had been the joy and main focus of her father's life since her mother died when she was 3. Bill Thomas lived for her, and Lily adored him. Bill Thomas had gone to a state college in Pennsylvania. His father had been a coal miner and died when Bill was in his teens. He knew what poverty looked like at its most extreme, and all he had wanted as a young man was to provide a better life for the family he hoped to have one day. A scholarship to Harvard Business School had changed his life. He had used the MBA he earned there, and his own entrepreneurial sense, to achieve everything he had set his sights on as a boy. His mother never lived to see him graduate, and his brother had died in a mine accident at 19. Only Bill had escaped into a better world, and he never forgot where he came from and what he had achieved. He was brilliant in business, and at 52, he had fulfilled his dreams and worked at home now, managing his investments and spending as much time with Lily as he could. He had been both father and mother to her for 14 years and was infinitely proud of her. Lily showered and dressed and appeared at the breakfast table a few minutes later in her ski pants, thermals, and bare feet. Her long dark hair was still wet from the shower, and her father was sipping a cup of coffee as he looked up at her with a smile. "I was wondering if you were going to sleep in. It looks nasty outside." As he said it, they both heard the dynamite go off again. The chairlifts weren't moving yet, but Lily was sure they would soon, at least for a while.